Hi everybody, Maria here. So just a nice little birthday card today. So we're going to mix and match a couple of brands together. So this is just me trying to get ahead a little bit on some birthday cards, and I thought actually this might be quite a nice one to YouTube. So things that I have used. So the lettering here, this is from a big alphabet here, floral alphabet set from 2J's, which is available through Crafts 2. Okay, so we've got that's one brand, and then the letters over here, these are my absolute favourite die cut letters. I've got lots of die cut alphabets, but these ones are my favourite because they just tick lots and lots of boxes with the size and the stitching and so forth, and the fonts as well. So those are these ones here from Lisa. It also helps that they're from Lisa Horton Crafts because she is a nice lady, as is Danny. Just good hard working people. In the background here I've used a stencil. So this one is an A4 stencil from All and Create. So they do a smaller size of this. They do a 6x6, and I think they might do an A5, but sometimes it's good to have an A4 size because it'll fit over any size of your card or your project. So we've got that, couple of little sentiments here. Whatever you've got is fine. The ones that I'm using here are a woodware set. So these are called word fragments, but again, whatever you've got is gonna work on there. Let's see, a couple of inks and pens. So I've just gone with a couple of oxides. Distress would be fine as well. These are the colours that I've used. So Salvage Patina, Seedless Preserve and Wilted Violet. So I've used those, and then I've just pulled a couple of pens into place that are going to sort of show up, so a little bit brighter than the ink. So I've gone with my Zig Clean Colours. My other favourites that I'm liking are the Koi water-based pens. Those are nice as well. And my more recent acquisition, or gift actually, from my very lovely hubby, he treated me to the Faber-Castell watercolour pens, and these, they're pricey, I'll be honest, they are pricey, but they are beautiful. I've absolutely loved using those. So whatever you've got is going to be okay. Right, so this one's Andrea, so I've gone with a longer card to fit Andrea's name in. So this one is going to fit nicely. It actually started out as an 8-inch card blank, but there was lots of stenciling up here, and I thought actually it's kind of a bit much, and I didn't want to add anything else in. So what I did was I just sort of trimmed this down to fit into an A5 envelope. So I'm going to do a different name today. I'm going to do Dawn because I'm getting way ahead now. Dawn isn't until January. So Dawn is going to fit onto a 7-inch card, a little bit smaller. So let's make a little start. Let's grab some bits. Now, as which way around to do, whether we do the stamping first or the inking. What I did first was I did the stamp, because what I didn't want to do was to end up with some heavy stenciling through the flowers and then have to go really dark to cover that up. So it's easier if you've got that letter in place first, and then you can kind of stencil up to that and not over it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So in here then I need my D, which has not been used as yet. There we go. Just be careful as you take these off for the first time. Don't tear your stamps. There we go. So just gently, see. There we go. Right, so I've got my D for Dawn. So let's just position that here. Let's just get a plan together first of all, and then the letters. Now what I've done is I've done just a tiny little prep words. So we need A, W and N. So I've already put together the N and the W. We need to put together the A, but we'll do that in a short while. So let's just put that together like so, so we can see, so we can line things up roughly. So let's get those quite close, so we can bring that D in a little bit, I think, like so. And then we're not too, let's just leave that A like that for a minute. Okay, so that's not bad, is it? We've got lined up there. We could maybe go a bit higher. Okay, that's where I'm going to stamp my D. So that's our starting points. Pop those to one side. Right, stamp platform, where are you? There we go, we're over here. So let's open this up. I think we'll christen a new paper for in there, although actually on here we don't necessarily need one, but we'll put a fresh one in anyway. Let me just grab my pad from here. Okay, let's get one of those, pop that in the platform, and that protects the foam mat, and it also gives you a nice grid pattern as well, which sometimes is handy. You don't need it for this, but that's okay. Let's take those couple of stamps off here. Okay, we'll need those in a while. Right, okay, so I'm happy where my stamp, where my D is going to be. Let's pick that up, bring that across, and I'm going to stamp this. That's a bit grubby, that, is it? Oh no, it's not, it's just bits. There we go, that's fine. So I'm going to stamp up in VersaFine, so get a nice clear sharp black, picks up all the lovely detail. Here we go. Make sure that's in the corner in case I need to re-stamp. Okay. Okay, okay, right, let's flag up some bits and bobs. Can you see I've got bits here? So there from here, I'm going to turn the card, no, I'm going to start with a new card, and I'm going to give this a clean off. This is where it's always good to start with things clean, and we don't always, do we? We're in a rush, or we just go, oh, it'll be fine. And sometimes that's where these little things come along and ruin our work. So just bear with me just a second. Let me grab another card. Okay. Right. I've got two, just in case. So let's go again. Here we are. Hopefully this one will be fine. See, we all do it. We all do it. And again, so you can see where we've got. So I'll give that just a little rub. It's not the end of the world. Also, when you get it on your fingers as well, I can see a little bit on my fingers. There we go. Let's have a look. There we go, that's better. And I think it's black enough, but I'll give it just another light little layer, just because I can. There we go. Okay. So we're done with that. I'll put the platform to one side, clean that off in a while, but I am going to clean my finger because you can see there, it's so easily done. It really is, that you will put that ink everywhere and then you'll be sorry. Right, okay, so we've got our D in place. So now we're at a good position to do our stenciling because we can kind of avoid those flowers. So I'm going to take a little bit of low tack tape, a couple of pieces of that, and I'm going to stick them underneath the card blank with the sticky facing upwards. And then what I can do is I can, here we go, when I've got the right position that I'm happy with, I can press the stencil down onto the tape. And then if you want to be a bit more cautious, we can get a bit tape down there as well. Okay, so that should help keep everything in place. Right, okay, so inks. I'm going to go with pink first. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how much ink that I've got on my brush first of all. So remember, we don't want to go heavy here. All right, also we don't want to go heavy because we've just stamped this image. And we don't want to smear that ink, because don't forget, VersaFine stays wet for quite a while. There we go, so plenty of ink still on that brush. Then I've got, this brush has got the Salvage Patina on, so let's get some of that on as well. And again, I can come up to here, but not heavy through those flowers. A little bit's fine. Here we go. Let me just blend those colours. It's hard to bring that down there a bit more. There we go. And then I've got a lilac brush. And again, without adding any more colour, let's just see what I've got. See, there's plenty on there. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Let's get a bit in here. So we're just kind of filling in areas on here now. And again, blending so we get some really nice colours going on. There we go. Now I think that should be fine. Let's have a look. We can always put it back down if we need to. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Happy with that. Okay, so that is the stenciling done. So now we can go on to our letters and do a bit of colouring. I'll leave that for a minute. There we go. Right, so the letters. We've got a W and we've got an N. I just thought if I did this first, it would shorten the video a little bit. You don't need to see me put all of the letters together. So what I've done then is I've die cut 3 white and 1 black, so we get the nice shadow, the black shadow, because one thing, it helps it stand out from the card, but also it ties the black in with your stamped lettering as well. So let's get some glue on the go. So we're just going to do a bit of glue and we'll pop these together nicely. These are such lovely dies from our Lisa. She is a wonder. Okay, and I'm not going to put the top one on for a minute. I'm going to put the bottom one on. And there's a method to my madness, because we don't want to get any ink on that top layer. And I did that when I made the original card by tipping it over too many times and so forth. So by adding the top layer on last, you're exposing it to as little as possible. There we go. And then we'll pop the top one on. And that's all there is to putting the letters together. So they're nice and chunky, but not too chunky. This should still go through the post under 5 millimeters in size. Right, we're going to get those on, and we want to get them quite straight and lined up with our D. So what we can do is use a ruler. Okay, and what I'm looking for here, I want to get underneath the D, but I'm looking at, see the gap that I've got down here. We don't want to go wonky in any way, because then the letter's going to be wonky. So we can do it that way, or you could put a little piece of low tack tape along there. Right, so let's have a look again. Let's see, so we've got D, A, W, N. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong way round. Good job I didn't stick that down, isn't it? Right, what's our spacing like from here to here? Are we happy with that? Okay, I'm going to bring that just a tiny bit further, like so. Yeah, happy with that. So now I will stick these down. So again, make sure nothing's moved, and just put that up to your ruler, like so. I'm spelling this right, aren't I? D-A-W-N. We've all done it. We've all done it. There we go. Tiny bit further there. And again, just putting that up to the top of the ruler. And we've got RN. Same again. There we go. I'm just going to give that a little press just for a few seconds, just make sure everything sticks down really nicely. Okay. Right, yeah, that should be fine. So next jobs, let's see. We want to colour the flowers. I'm going to add our sentiments as well. So let's do a bit of colouring first. So we're going to stick with the pinky colours. So I'm going to, let's just go with a little bit of dark in a few places first. I'm not going to be too worried about blending on this because it's just little roses. They're really quite diddy, so there's no need to get too concerned about that. There we go. I think really just as long as you use a couple of shades, then that sort of does the job adequately, I think, in my opinion. Here we go, tiny bit there, tiny bit there. I think that should be pale in there. And go quite dark in the middle. Don't need to worry too much about that. There we go. Nice and simple. I'm not a expert colorist. It's not my field of expertise, and I don't pretend it is, but I'm happy with that. So on this board, a bit of dark, and then a little bit of light. So we've got one more diddy bud there. I'll probably leave that quite dark, that one. Right, leaves. Let's have a little look. Just because they're on the desk, I'll go with these pens rather than dig out some of t'others. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of dark on there. Need to work quite quick on here because I'm not on watercolour card. We're straight direct on the card blank, and it doesn't blend quite as well. But if you're quick, you'll be fine. There we go. Tiny bit of dark in there. In with a lighter colour. Yeah, that's fine, I think. These little leaves here, just put a tiny bit of the darker colour. And then in with the lighter. There we go. That's okay, I'm happy with that. Should be fine. Right, let's get a sentiment on. So I think what I'll do is I'll use the same ones that I've used on Andrea's card because I think they looked quite nice. So I'm going to bring back the stamp platform. So let's get rid of that stamp. I'll give it a little clean. Where's my, so isopropanol alcohol, because it's a VersaFine pad. Give that all a good clean. Gently lift that stamp up. There we go. Right, now I'm going to bring in a little acetate sheet while I'm positioning the sentiments, okay? Because these may still have a little bit of ink on them. And this way, it won't transfer onto the card as I'm jiggling this around. Right, let's have a little look on there. Does that look straighter? This is where this grid's quite handy as well, isn't it? Because I can see. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with that. So I can just, let's put the magnet on there just for a minute. Bring that across. Pick those stamps up. There we go. And then we can get rid of the acetate. Any old acetate sheet will be absolutely fine. It hasn't got to be a specially made one. It's just those grids are quite handy. There you go. So I'm just inking up the sentiment again with VersaFine, and make sure that's in the corner so it's nice and straight. Pop that down. I'm just going straight onto the card. I could put that on separate card and coloured card maybe if I want to, but the other option that I've got is maybe I could blend some of these colours in there. So let's have a diddy look. So what I'll do is I'll take my darker colour and I'm going to just scribble on there just a little bit, and then pick a little bit of that up with the lighter pen and just, and as I take that across, you'll see we go from the darker colour back into the lighter colour, like so. Okay, just a little, and again over here, darker colour, and as we go across, the colour will get lighter and go back to its colour. There we go. How's that? Alright, so that is now another birthday card done. Let's move all that out the way so you can have a proper look. How's that? Okay, about 25 minutes for that card. So again, I've used the 2J's floral alphabet set here. I've used Lisa's alphabet, what we called large stitched alphabet dies here. All in Create A4 hexagon stencil, and the word fragment sentiments on here, a couple of ink pads, and away you go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.